thanks. And we have our guest here today. How are you doing, guest?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Still exhausted. Okay, Talia is going to read her bio.
And I hope I get her name right. And if I don't, please don't be hard on me. So Midian is a break girl, Papa, a dance style that involves relaxing and contracting one's muscles to create a jerk-like movement. Fine artist, illustrator and dancer teacher from Port Elizabeth. Dance has always been an outlet and a form of expression for her. Her passion filters down through her athletic approach to her dancing. She started hip-hop dance in 2010 and learned the style of breakdance in 2014 and popping in 2015. Midian has performed at numerous corporate functions, local community events and local productions including Coca Cola SA, Colors of You South Africa and the #Imagine movement. At the Red Bull Dance Your Style prelim section in Port Elizabeth 2019, she placed runner-up. She managed to gain a top 16 spot at nationals. In 2019 April, she was selected as one of South Africa's top 4 break girls to compete at the National Red Bull BC1 breaking competition. Together with her partner, they won the All-Style Versus section at Global Dance Supreme, an inter-continental hip-hop and Afro dance competition. She also teaches dance at Harvest Christian School. Dancing 2020, Midian competed on an international scale for the first time and placed top 64 and top 32 at the BreakFree Worldwide International online dance battles. Midian, a 27-year-old, is a break girl, Papa, a qualified freelance fine artist and dance teacher from Port Elizabeth. She started breaking at the age of 21. Despite starting this late, she has managed to make waves in the breaking industry. One of her goals is to show that you can do anything you put your mind to and age shouldn't stop you from fulfilling your dreams. Since 2018, she has participated in multiple national and international dance battles. Her first national battle was in 2019 where B-Girl qualified for a top 4 spot at the Red Bull BC1 Girl section. In 2020, she participated in her international online dance battle, #B-Girl, B-Girls Run the World. Organized by a legendary B-boy Wicked, she went up against some top international B-Girls and made it to top 4. She also managed to gain a top 64 spot for BreakFree Worldwide BreakFree International Dance Online Battle. Later in 2020, she bumped up her qualifying spot to top 32 in BreakFree Worldwide's Survive 3 International Online Dance Battle. In November 2020, she participated in the International Online Hip Hop Revolution Festival and qualified for top 8.
Wow, that is an impressive bio.
Thank you so much for long. It means that you've been here.
So I think we want to discuss your name. Midian, right?
Midian.
Midian. Sorry, I'm really struggling with your name. Where does it come from?
It comes from the Bible. My parents were looking through the Bible for a name for me, and they picked Midian.
Why Midian though? Like I have never heard of Midian.
Yeah,
What
it
does
is
mean?
it is a unique name. When I asked God what it meant, He told me it meant protection, because Moses fled to the land of Midian for protection.
Okay.
That's
A beautiful name.
Maybe
Thank
it is
you.
nice. Maybe I'll name my children Midian. Depends if I actually want to have kids. Don't really. You look stunning today, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to discuss with you, when did you actually start dancing? When did you find that you had a love for dancing?
So I started when I was in grade 7, and like I was explaining to your friend, it started off as kind of, watching TV and copying the moves on TV, not really knowing what hip-hop dance is. Then my focus got split and I was like, no, I'm going to focus on school a bit more. And then in 2010 I took it up again. I was like, no, let me go to talent competition at school. They were hosting a talent competition and I was like, okay, let me do this thing with my brother. So we did it and it was so much fun. Then in 2014, I discovered breaking, also known as breakdancing, and I started training. I had 2 trainers. And then after that, I turned to YouTube tutorials. So for about 3 years, I was in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Did you say you can learn anything from YouTube?
Yes.
So you had those 2 trainers for breakdancing. What did you have to do? Like, did they tell you to pose in a certain way and then move in a different way, or did they help you with your fitness? What?
So like you get, the best way I can explain it is, you get foundation in music and foundation in language. They teach you the foundation in that dance. So there will be specific foundational moves that are very basic that you as a beginner can start doing and practicing. But even though as a beginner in breaking, it's still very difficult to execute these moves. It's very taxing on the body, and you don't find a lot of girls doing these moves or this dance style as well, breaking.
Talia and I were discussing earlier, I'm going to show you a few of my moves. Maybe I'll beat you. I don't know. So you went to nationals, and I think you got 16th place?
Top 16, so
Top
placed
16.
in the top 16.
That was quite impressive. Wow. How was that experience? I know only some dancers dream of doing that.
It was awesome. I got to learn a lot about dancers and the dance industry and dancing on such a big platform, because it was quite a big brand name that I had to dance for, dance competition that I had to dance for. So it was one of the bigger dance competitions. So it was quite overwhelming at first, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this thing. But throughout the whole process, I was like, but I actually don't feel like I'm qualified for this. But he just told me, you can rely on me and my strength for this.
So you used to do hip hop, and then you did breakdancing. How did hip hop help you with breakdancing?
So hip hop helped me with the groove side of things, the rhythm, that kind of thing. Because that's a very important aspect within dancing. Yeah.
I have zero knowledge in the dance industry, and I want to know, how do you sustain a living on becoming a dancer? How is it lucrative? Are you going to be able to dance when you're 50? And what is your plan, and how do you even get into the industry?
Okay, so the way I decided to do it was through competitions and battles. So that's how I started putting my name out there. I'm still in the process of doing that. I haven't, quote unquote, made it like I personally wanted to, but
we're sure getting there.
Yes, I'm getting there slowly by God's grace.
So you're a dance teacher. How is that going? Aren't kids annoying?
I actually love kids. I love how straightforward they can be, and they just tell you like it is, and that's what brings a smile to my face every time I teach them. I really enjoy teaching.
They're too open for me. They tell me about their day yesterday, and all I want them is to keep quiet. I don't think kids are for me, actually. So what has teaching kids helped you learn about yourself?
Teaching kids has helped me learn patience, and it's helped me to know that everybody learns in a different way, and you have to adapt your teaching skills to that. And the most important thing, like I said, is patience. Patience.
So I want to ask you, I'm getting back to my question. I think you haven't really answered my question. I want to ask you, is the dance industry a lucrative industry? For someone to come, if I want to become a dancer, it's how do I get into dancing, and how do I sustain a living in dancing? How do I do it? How do I do it financially and everything else? I want to know that.
So if you want to become a professional dancer, first things first, I would say, is work on your skills. Work on perfecting your foundation. Work on developing your own style and character. Then from there, an option would be to work through an agent, and they would find jobs for you, dancing jobs for you, like ads or corporate events, etc. And through that you can sustain a living. There's also, with that combined with battling, if you're lucky enough to win all your battles, your dance battles, you can sustain a living like that. But most people, and there's also teaching, so dance teaching is another way of earning an income. So you would earn through dance teaching, through doing ads, and what was the other thing? Dance battles. Yeah, so that's basically what I've done.
What goes through your head when you're dancing on stage? Those competitions.
I get, believe it or not, I still get nervous at every single competition that I enter. And I'm mostly thinking about the feeling that dancing gives me while I'm doing it. I'm like, wow, I really enjoy this. This is what I live for. So those are the main thoughts that go through my mind while I'm performing.
Was it hard to convince your parents that you want to do dancing?
Yes. Yes, it was. Because, the arts are not a viable career.
Lucrative.
It's not lucrative, But there are ways to make it work. And that's what I've decided. I was like, I can make this thing work. Whether it's through dance teaching, whether it's doing corporate jobs, whether it's through dance battling, I've always found a way to make it work.
And your husband?
What about my husband?
Did you meet you before you were a dancer, or was it after?
We actually met at church for a dance.
Is he also a dancer?
Yes, he's
Oh
also
my
a dancer.
goodness. Look at me imagine the battles at home. You guys battle at home.
Yes, we do. And I enjoy it. Yeah, so we met at youth, at church. They asked us to do a little dance show for the youth at church. And I saw him, and he was one of the people who choreographed the little dance show that we had to do. So since then, my eyes were on him.
Aww. So cute. So when you're dancing, is that kind of the way how you worship God?
Yes, definitely. I mean, even in my practice, that's the time when I focus my thoughts on this gift, and I'm like, thank you, God, that I can move my body to glorify you.
So what does worship mean to you?
Worship to me means, just us sitting here right now, breathing and thinking and talking to each other is worship. But there are forms of worship, like singing praise and worship songs, or like, for example, dancing, or creating art, or writing, or even what you guys do is a form of worship to God. You do it for His glory. So that's what worship means to me.
Nice explanation.
What would you like to accomplish as a dancer? That one thing, that one goal you would like to accomplish?
The one thing that I want to do is qualify for the Olympics, because breaking/breakdancing is in the Olympics for 2024. And I'm in the process of training for that, and I'm in the process of organizing that, and I'm so excited for that. That's my ultimate goal, and I sure hope that God grants me that desire.
That would be awesome. We'll be supporting you. We'll be telling the listeners, okay guys, we need to support our dancer guest that we had here, Midian. I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry.
Are there any restrictions, like in terms of dancing as a Christian? And some church might find you like other kinds of dancing be controversial? Are there any restrictions? Can you dance any type of dance as long as it's breaking? Do you feel restricted because you are a Christian?
No, I don't. Not at all. I haven't. In the beginning, when I first started, I did feel restricted. But at the moment, my church has been very accommodating. They've allowed us to perform at their Christmas productions. They've allowed us to perform at before service starts. You know, just as a way to, how do you say, accompany the message that the pastor's giving. So, at the moment, I think we've progressed. I don't feel restricted anymore when it comes to that. I mean, I know people in the past were quite, hip hop dance, you know.
At church,
At
you
church,
can't do that.
no, you can't do that. Like, I believe all forms of dance are worship dance, is worship dance. That's
It's just
just my
people's style at the end of the day. It's what's in your heart. Yes, your husband is correct.
Exactly.
So I want us to talk about you being a Christian. You've always been a Christian, right? Because your name comes from the Bible, obviously. So when was the time that you realized, okay, there is a living God in your life?
So
And what was happening?
I became born again in 2010. I was caught up in the wrong relationship, and he was of another faith, and God basically, in summary, rescued me from this relationship. And